All right, welcome back to Bayou Time, Martin Folse. I'm with the Superintendent of Terrebonne Parish, Philip Martin. Philip, good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to be here, Martin. Thank you for having me.
All right, with school getting closer and closer, and of course, COVID now increasing with a new variant, a lot to think about. Just real quick, if you could, bring us up to speed. What's the progress? What's the plan for this year's schools?
Kids go back to school August 10th, and 2 weeks ago we were feeling really, really good. Things seem to be on a very dramatic decline, and as you alluded, that has changed considerably. Right now, we're not planning to change any of our original opening protocols for this year. Most significantly, we're going to follow the guidelines from the governor's office, which masks are recommended but not required, except on buses. So it will not be a mandate. Now, can I sit here and say this is carved in stone and nothing will ever change? Everyone knows you can't do that. But we are sticking to what the guidance we released, which the most significant differences would be kids, it's voluntary option if you want to wear a mask. It's still encouraged and supported, except on buses. Everyone must wear on buses. And this goes for employees as well. It's not mandated, but it is encouraged. The other protocols, the distancing, the hand washing, the sanitizing the building, we're doing all that stuff. None of that doesn't change a bit. We're limiting access to the buildings to visitors, to only essential visitors, to stop as much mixing as we can, and continue to monitor very closely. I know there was a lot of difficulty for many people with the mask, and we understood that, but I would say that 99.9% everybody was very understanding. They didn't like it, but they knew they had to do it, and it was a mandate. Now that it's not a mandate, it's a recommendation. That's what we're going to do. We're going to recommend it and allow it, but we will not require it.
Just ran into one of the principals at one of the schools for lunch, and somebody at my table was asking, well, how can you tell if your students got vaccinated or not because it's rising and this and that? No way to tell. There's privacy issues all across the board.
There is no way to tell, and that's actually true for employees. Now, some of the advantages and this is not a pitch for vaccine. I was vaccinated, so obviously I believe in it. But just because I believe in it, that doesn't mean everybody else has to. But when it comes to quarantining, if a person has been vaccinated and has what the term close contact with someone who's positive, they don't have to quarantine. That includes students and employees. So there's an advantage from that side that quarantining is no longer required if you've been vaccinated. And obviously, if an employee says, well, I've been vaccinated, well, you'll have to show us that so we don't have to quarantine you.
But from the standpoint of a superintendent having gone through the initial pandemic to being very optimistic and saying, okay, it's coming back as a different variant, what have you learned? And really, you've been through it, so you know what you have to do pretty much.
Yeah, well, one thing I think the first thing that jumps on we learn is what's happening today may not be tomorrow. It's constantly changing. That's both from the bleak side and the sunny side. Some things are looking pretty bleak, but then they pick up dramatically. And also the reverse happens. Like I said, 2 weeks ago, we were euphoric that we got this. Well, Delta 1, Delta variant, whatever the name of it is, has changed all of that. But the good news to that is that the vaccine is effective against the Delta variant as well. And we're hopeful that after school starts, and this has been our experience, one thing that I've learned, this is not based on scientific evidence, it's based on Philip Martin's observations, is that after we're in school for a period of time, the positivity rate goes down. When we're out of school for a period of time, it goes up. If you remember last year this time, we were in a very dramatic surge, kind of like right now. I think last year was probably a little worse. But after we got the kids back in school, several weeks, it went dramatically down. Get out for Thanksgiving, mixing and mingling, there's a surge. Right. Saw it again at Christmas. Saw it again toward the end of the year. You know, and we're in the middle of summer. You know, it's summertime. Kids, people, parents are out doing things, and I guess the possibility for exposure is greater.
But when they're in school, it limits them. They go home and they study
Yeah.
in their own room.
And you know, mom and dad know
Yeah.
it's a school night. We're
Right.
not going here. We're not going there.
With
You know, we're not
Thanksgiving,
going to the beach.
We all going and play tennis at the park or do whatever we do, and you're absolutely correct. But just with about a minute left, I think people mentally sort of know how to handle it now, different than a year ago.
Well, there's no question, and I think that's true from the school community. I know it's true from the medical community that they also are have come a long way in what to do and what not to do. And we had a fairly successful year last year. We didn't have any meltdowns of super spreader episodes at a school, thank goodness. So we are optimistic about this school year as we approach the school year, and we're going to do everything we can to make it successful.
All right, there you have it. Straight from the Superintendent of Terrebonne Parish, Philip Martin. And watch as we'll continue to keep you updated on the schools, what it means with the new variant, what kind of problems or challenges we face with the new variant. Watch HTV on Facebook, on YouTube, and on TV, of course. We'll be back with more right around the break. Don't go away.